Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I am the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I have this great team that God sent me to manage that just makes this all possible. First off, let me introduce Faith. Faith has been my assistant since the day she was born. Actually, since you were conceived, probably. I'm sure in the womb you were assisting me there too. Her parents met in my church and married, and Faith was my firstborn and in the congregation. And so she used to sit on the podium and do announcements with me. So now she's going to be 18 soon and my official assistant and our soloist, and we couldn't do this without you, so thank you. She's the one behind the scenes that answers all of your questions and says hi back and whatever. She knows me almost better than I know myself, so I always go back and look just to see if there's anything I need to add, but for most of the time she answers just like I would. So thank you, Faith, for being here.
Thank you.
And then there is my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz, who was my first baby practitioner in my church. He took all of his training with me except for one class at Mile High, and served as my licensed practitioner for a very long time, and then was my board president, and then up and decided to move to Florida and abandon us. Anyway, so much for that drama. He's back with us. I know, right? Oh, I just want to faint. He's back with us now. Right now he's in Wisconsin, where he goes for the summer because Florida summers can be a little drastic. But he's joining us live from Wisconsin right now. So he's going to be praying us in, praying us out, and he's available at the very end for our 1-minute miracle, which we'll talk a little bit about later. Thank you, Oz, for being here. All right. And so today's topic is I am perfect just as I am. I always like to read Dr. Seuss whenever possible because I feel like the more we can laugh and be lighthearted about the message we're delivering, I think the better the message gets into the heart. So I do like to do. And so today I'm going to talk about Gertrude McFuzz. Oh, goodness. All right. And the music that we do, a lot of it is from Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker, who both have gifted us with their music so that we can do music on Sundays, which I really appreciate since we can't really do like a whole karaoke system in the church like we used to when we had a facility. And because Facebook is very picky about what they allow us to do and not do. So. All right. So anyway, say hi if you're here. Good morning. Hello. However you want to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see who's here, and I kind of get that feedback, that love feedback. So we can't do that right here in the software. So do me a favor and just say hello, good morning, hello, hi, whatever, and let me know that you're here. And if you want to do a watch party, it's a great way for your friends to, thank you, whoever that was that just gave me a thumbs up. I'll have to look and see who that is. Shelly Foster. Thank you, Shelly. And so if you want to do a watch party, it's a great way for your friends to know what kind of messages they will receive. And also you can talk back and forth because you can't bother anybody, right? You're at home. But they can ask you questions and you can answer them, or you can just talk amongst yourselves so that you're discussing what we're talking about. Anyway, there's a watch party button. Just click on that and start your watch party. So I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift you and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God, as we conceive of it, God is all that is. The energy and substance of the universe and all potential universes is encapsulated in this concept that we call God. It is here for all space and all time. It is right here where I am and where you are right now, whenever that is, wherever that is. For it is all part of that one great presence, that one great power in which we live and move and have our being. And not only that, but it lives and moves and breathes in us as us. And I know that this is a very good thing. I don't know how we're here. I don't know why we're here, but I know that we're here, and I know that it's good and very good. And what makes that so is the presence of God in us as us, in you as you. And I know as we go forward into this week, the message is inspired, the music is beautiful, and life is a good thing. And for being part of it all, I give great thanks, and I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Oz. This next song is from Reverend Fairy Lane Silver, We Are All One, which is our philosophy. If you know the words, sing it out loud and sing it proud, because you can't bother anybody. If you don't know the words, try to learn them. It's a great meme to have in your head. We are all one.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I have seen, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Yes, we are all one in it. So say hi, hello, good morning, however you like to greet us. Let us know that you're here. When I look out into a facility, I can see who's here. I don't have that luxury here, so I really appreciate it when I see you say hello or hi or good morning. And without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Faith singing I Look Good from Karen Drucker.
Yeah. I got this little game, it's the latest arrange. Not limited by race, creed, color, or age. I stand in front of a mirror every day. I look at myself from head to toe and simply say, I look good. I look good. I look good. I'm the only me that will ever be. I look good. The rules of this game are specific and precise. I can't judge or criticize, I have to be nice. This is the body and it's very divine. I don't need to lose weight or color my gray or have a facelift, 'cause I look good. I look good. I look good. I'm the only me that will ever be. I look good. This game isn't limited to just what's outside. It's the inner world too, and it can't be denied. 'Cause who I am radiates from within. And I open my heart and quiet my critic, and I dig in. Oh! They say that beauty's skin deep, but I know for a fact there's not really how you look, it's how you act. 'Cause when I'm nice, did I give up today? I can look in the mirror and look at myself. I can say I am good. I am good. I am good. I'm the only me that will ever be. I am good. I look good. I look good. I'm the only me that will ever be. I am good. Ba, ba.
Thank you. That is one of my favorite songs that she does. That one and Lighten Up. They just have attitude. I like that attitude that she puts off. Thank you, Faith. That was great. Excuse me. So like I said, I like to read, what's his name? All of a sudden it's just like slipped my brain. But I'm going to do Gertrude McFuzz because I think it's important to remind ourselves just how perfect we are already. And this is a great way for us to learn that lesson. So here we go. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail ever was. One droopy droop feather, that's all that she had. And oh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. She curled it, she dyed it, she gave it a puff. She decked it with flowers, but it wasn't enough. For no matter what, it just was what it was. A tail that simply wasn't meant to catch the eye of an elephant. Why she'd want to catch an eye of an elephant, I don't know. The one feather tail of Miss Gertrude McFuzz, for there was another young bird that she knew, a fancy young birdie named Lala Lelu. And instead of one feather behind, she had two. Poor Gertrude. Whenever she happened to spy Miss Lala Lelu flying by in the sky, she got very jealous. She frowned and she pouted. Then one day she got awfully mad and she shouted, "This just isn't fair. I have one, she has two. I must have a tail just like Lala Lelu." So she flew to her uncle, a doctor named Dake, whose office was high in a tree by the lake. And she cried, "Uncle Doctor, oh please do you know of some kind of pill that will make my tail grow?" "Tut, tut," said the doctor, "such talk, how absurd. Your tail is just right for your kind of bird." Then Gertrude had tantrums. She raised such a din that finally her uncle, the doctor, gave in. And he told her just where she could find such a pill, on a pillberry vine on the top of a hill. "Oh, thank you," chirped Gertrude McFuzz, and she went straight to the hill where the pillberry grew. Yes, there was the vine, and as soon as she saw it, she plucked off a berry and started to gnaw it. It tasted just awful, almost made her sick. She wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. She felt something, oops, it went away. Let's try that and see if that good. I'll do it. It tasted just awful, almost made her sick. She wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. She felt something happen. She felt a small twitch, as if she'd been tapped down behind by a switch. And Gertrude looked round and she cheered. It was true. 2 feathers exactly like Lala Lelu. Then she got an idea. "I know what I'll do. I'll grow a tail better than Lala Lelu. Those pills that grow feathers are working just fine," so nibbled another one off of the vine. She felt a new twitch, and then Gertrude yelled, "Whee! Miss Lala Lelu has only just 2, but I have 3. When Lala Lelu sees this beautiful stuff, she'll fall right down on her face, sure enough. I'll show her who's perfect. I certainly will. Well, I'll make my tail even prettier still." She snatched up those berries that grew on that vine. She gobbled down 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, and she didn't stop eating Miss Gertrude McFuzz till she'd eaten 3 dozen, all that there was. When the feathers popped out with a zing and a zang, they blossomed like flowers that bloom in the spring. All fit for a queen, what a sight to behold. They sparkled like diamonds and gumdrops and gold. Like spaghetti, like satin, like lace. They burst out like rockets all over the place. They waved in the air and they swished in the breeze, and some were as long as the branches on the trees. And still they kept growing. They popped and they popped until long after about sundown, they finally stopped. "And now," giggled Gertrude, "the next thing to do is to fly straight home and show Lala Lelu. And when Lala sees these, why, her face will get red, and she'll let out a scream and fall right down dead." She spread out her wings to take off the ground, but with all of those feathers, she weighed 90 pounds. She yanked and she pulled and she let out a squawk, but that bird couldn't fly, couldn't run, couldn't walk. All through that night, she was stuck on that hill, and Gertrude McFuzz might be stuck up there still. If her good Uncle Dake hadn't heard the girl yell, he rushed to her rescue and brought along help. To lift Gertrude up almost broke all their beaks, and to fly her back home it took almost 2 weeks. And then it took almost another week more to pull out those feathers. My, Gertrude was sore. And finally, when all the pulling was done, Gertrude behind her just had one. That one little feather she had as a starter. But now that's enough, because she's smarter. Has anybody ever had that envy bug? Where you look at someone else and you just know that they have something you don't have, and you really want that thing? It's really an interesting phenomenon when you really look into it, because when you look at someone else's life and you think that that life is perfect somehow, it really isn't. I had this one friend one time, and those of you who know, when I travel places, I like to stay at people's houses. It's a cheaper way to do a vacation, and besides, you get to spend quality time with the people that you're visiting. So when I go to Florida, I visit with Oz and Grace, and I visit with Marilyn and Catherine and my friend Aurelia, who was in my wedding 40 years ago, from Germany. And so I spend time with all of my friends when I go to Florida. Well, one week, I should say, I went somewhere else besides Florida, and I stayed with a friend for a week. And I had looked at her life, and, she had money. She had the career of a lifetime. She had this beautiful house, and she had this great boyfriend, I thought. And so I wanted her life. I kept looking at her life and going, wow, what a life she's got. That's just great. And I went to stay with her for a week, and I could not get out of there fast enough. She hated her house. She hated her job. She hated her career. She hated her boyfriend. She hated herself. And she hated me. Nothing. She was just so miserable. Nothing made her happy. And so, after I left there, I thought to myself, I will never again look at someone else's life and envy what they have, because you don't know. Behind closed doors, there's a whole different story. She was always so happy. She had this facade of being happy all the time. And then I get to her house and I realize she's never happy. She felt comfortable enough to let her guard down and let me see that side of her. And I realized then, everybody walks around putting on their best face. So you would never know whether someone's happy or not by how they project themselves. And so it taught me a really valuable lesson, which I think that was one of the lessons of this book, is that, Gertrude McFuzz was looking at Lalaleelu and saying how perfect her life was because she had two feathers, she had two feathers. And poor Gertrude, only had the one. So she felt less than and wanted Lalaleelu's life. But in truth, Lalaleelu probably had all kinds of stuff going on. Don't we all? I mean, I know I do. People probably look at me and go, oh, wow, the life of a minister, blah, 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 I have my challenges just like everybody else does. So envy just doesn't pay. It really doesn't. Being okay as we are is what's most important. I'm the most perfect me I can be. Like that song said, I'm the only me that could ever be. And the truth is, what a boring world it would be if everybody looked and sounded and acted just like me. The thing that makes us enjoy life are all the little differences between us. When I meet somebody, I'm really intrigued by what they're, not only what is common between us, but also what the differences are. I like to learn about them. And usually their uniqueness shows up in various ways. I mean, ultimately we are all unique. I used to have this friend who used to say, I'm special. And she really believed that she was special. And, she used to say things like, they don't know who I'm going to be. And so when I think about all of that, when I think about what the attitude with which she had that, I think about how awful it would be to have to be special to feel good about yourself, right? And so what's really true is we are unique. Every one of us is unique. For if everybody was special, there would be no special, right? And one can't be more special than the other. Just like, we're all made of God. So, God couldn't be more special there than it is there, right? Whatever. So I love this song that when I was in the, I think it was practitioner training. Oh no, it was Science Mind 2. Dr. Marjorie Stamm recommended this song, and we sang it a lot. It was, I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. And so we sang this song. It was a good meme to get stuck in your head, because it was a great way for you to teach you to love yourself. It was put out by Hay House. And I listened to that for years. And whenever I had clients that were working on self-esteem issues, I would recommend that they buy this tape and sing it over and over and over again, because it really does teach you to love yourself the way you are. Not expecting yourself to be different than you are, but still being open to the growth that comes, right? If you're open to the world, you are going to experience some growth. So love yourself. You are who you're supposed to be, right? God created you exactly like you were supposed to be. Yes, we grow. Yes, we change. Yes, we are able to adapt to the world. Yes, all of that is true. But the core of who we are, the very essence of who we are, never changes, because we are created the way we are supposed to be. So you are who you are supposed to be. Sometimes when you compare yourself to others, you come up short or you come up long. Competition just leads you to feel worse about yourself, whether you come out better or short, better or long or short. See, if I have to put someone else down in order to feel better about myself, then I will never feel better about myself, you see, because there's this damage that I do to my psyche, my soul, when I have to put another person down. And if I come up short, of course, I will not be happy, because then I feel like I'm not worthy, or I'm not, I'm not perfect, right? And so comparing ourselves to others is never a good idea. We are divine beings, that we were created exactly the way we were supposed to be, and we are perfect just the way we are, although sometimes we don't act perfectly. Let me revise the statement that we are perfect, because here's the thing. I think we are perfect. I think that who we are is perfect. I think we don't always act perfectly because we have free will. And I know that there are times when I may not act as perfectly as I would like to. But I don't expect the people around me to be perfect. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm revising that. I want to recognize that I am perfect just the way I am. And I want to recognize that others are perfect just the way they are. I don't need them to be perfect in order for me to be happy. That's where we get in that place of misery, is when we expect someone else to change because we don't see them as perfect as they already are. Every snowflake is different, and there's a reason. They're unique. And so we want to celebrate that uniqueness. We want to celebrate the differences between us, as well as the things that we have in common. Where we get off track, where we get into trouble, is when we look at the world and we see, oh, that person is different because of that, and judge from that place. I'm saying, well, they're not perfect because they're that. No, they're that way because they were created perfect just as they are. And when we can reach that opinion of them, then we can allow them to show their perfection to us, right? They show us their strength instead of their weaknesses. And beauty is different for everybody. There's somebody for everybody in this world. There was a movie about this girl who was born without legs and hands. And if she can find somebody, everybody can, right? We see that all the time. I see that in couples out on the street. You look at them and you think, wow, how did that happen? And yet it did, because there is someone for everyone on this planet. And we are perfect just the way we are, and we are designed to attract that other person. You see what I mean? Like, there's a reason, there's a plan in place. Not that God comes up with this plan. We came up with this plan. We had a contract for this plan. And although we may not have known what the person's name was or what exactly they looked like, we knew we would attract that person when we came to this planet, you see? And so who we are is a perfect attractor. And that includes money. That includes abundance. That includes health. That includes anything. I love this affirmation. I've been saying it a lot lately from TikTok. I do not chase, I attract. That which is mine seeks and finds me. Okay. And that's really true, whether you're talking about a person, or you're talking about money, or you're talking about the perfect job, or you're talking about perfect health, or you're talking about a perfect yoga program for you to attend. All of those things. I don't chase, I attract. What is mine seeks me out and finds me, right? And if God is there for us, if God is for us, who is there to be against us, right? And how could God be against us if it would be against itself? And so God is always for us. And that's the thing that we need to remember. Who we are is perfect. We are made of God, and God is for us. And so there is no one that can be against us. And jealousy and coveting is all about that, like seeing someone else as more than us. I finally realized that my life, as imperfect as it seems at times, is perfect for me, because I'm the only me that could ever be. I'm the perfect me for this situation, for all situations in my life. I am the perfect me. I wouldn't want to be anyone else. I was really blessed when I was in the School of Ministry at Mile High, because I had 5 mentor ministers. And while I wanted to, there's always this temptation to emulate another person. And so in some ways, I suppose I did, but when I look at it, I learned something from them instead of emulating them and becoming them. For instance, Dr. Kathleen Vogt, I loved her voice. Her voice was just so amazing. Probably not just her speaking voice in particular. Mostly it was like the meditation voice that she did. It was so awesome. It was just amazing. And I would listen to her and it was smooth and it was soothing. And I thought, oh God, if my meditation voice could just sound like that. I wanted to emulate her. I mean, she was a friend. I worked for her. I was her assistant. We used to have this pre-Christmas. It wasn't on Christmas, but this pre-Christmas dinner that we would get together and do sausage and peppers every year. And so we were really good friends. And so there was a lot about her life that I looked at and thought, oh God, that would be so nice to have a life like hers, you know? And it was really tempting, like I said, to emulate her. And we got together for 26 years like that. I know that because the last time we got together before she died, I looked at Kathleen Rautenstrauss, and I said, how old was Melody, her little daughter, when we first started getting together for this Christmas thing? And she said, or I said, how old is Melody now? And she said 26 years old. And I was like, oh my God, we've been meeting for 26 years, because Melody was crawling around on the floor as a baby when we first started doing Christmas over at Dr. Kathleen Vogt's. So there was a lot to take in about her. I was particularly exposed to her a lot, since she was my friend, she was my mentor. She was my teacher in prac training. And, you know, she was my boss for quite a while. And she was my good friend. And so I was around her a lot, and it was really easy for me to be tempted to emulate her. But when I listened to the meditations that we did from the pulpit, I recognized that my voice was smooth and calm. It's a lot easier to do that when you're walking around with a microphone close to your mouth, and you can speak very softly, and you can walk around and be very casual in your voice. It's a lot easier to be smooth and soothing. I know that it's a little more difficult in this situation because, again, I don't have a microphone up next to my mouth, so I have to speak naturally a little bit louder, so I'm not as soothing and smooth as I used to be. But when I listened to those sound bites from those years, I realized that what I got from her is that meditation voice. It wasn't exactly her voice. I wasn't emulating her voice. It was all me. But the quality that I really admired about her was the quality that I adapted or adopted and became the quality that I enjoyed. Another one that was, you know, her husband, Dr. Fred Vogt, he was something else. He was such a pill. And what I got from him is this irreverence. Like, I laughingly refer to myself sometimes as that I'm an irreverent reverend, because I watched Dr. Fred and I saw how his ability to laugh at himself and be irreverent made him so beloved to all of the people, because he was human. So I try to remember whenever I'm speaking that I'm just human, that I'm not this thing up there that you can put on a pedestal and admire from afar, that I need to remain human, that who I am on the street and who I am in the pulpit and who I am with my family and who I am with my friends has to be consistent. It has to be the same person. Dr. Fred used to say that he's the same person that you meet on the street as you meet when you come to church. And so I have worked very hard to not emulate him, because I could never be Dr. Fred anyway. Not that I would want to be. I love him dearly, but he's definitely not me. So I didn't want to emulate him, but I did take some of the lessons from his ministry for myself. Dr. Patty Lukenbach was amazing in teaching death and dying and grief. And so I have taken from her all of those little pieces where I can be that support system. I used to say, I love doing memorials, which makes me kind of ghoulish, I understand. But I love doing memorials because I am that calm port in the storm. Everyone else is all emotional and everyone else is, grieving and doing their thing. And I'm there just to be that calm port in the storm. And I took that from Dr. Patty Lukenbach. And then Dr. Marjorie Stamm, oh my gosh, she was so amazing too. In her own way, she was just a bubbly, positive, absolutely lifted up everybody around her. And I could never emulate her at all. I mean, she was a powerhouse. I remember we roomed together in Puerto Vallarta one time for the ministers' conference. And she was such a character. She would get up in the morning and throw her legs on the other side, or around the side of the bed, and she would say, "Praise God! This is the day that God has made." That's how she woke up, literally. And I'm not a really good morning person usually, so I had the covers over my eyes, And she would say that, and I'd, "Hola, Marjorie," and then I would go like this and go back to sleep. But she would get up and then she would power her way through the entire day. Never stopped. She just was go, 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 go. And then at night, she was so funny. I came in one night and she was watching this horror movie and it was on TV and it was all in Spanish. So you couldn't really tell exactly what was going on, but you know how horror stories are. And so she would cover her eyes at all the weird parts. And I'd say, "Marjorie, why do you keep watching that?" And she'd say, "Because I'm involved in it now." And I'm like, "But you can't tell what's going on." She goes, "Oh, I can tell what's going on." But Marjorie had never had a cup of coffee in her life. So I bought her this she loved the way it smelled. So I bought her this little candle that smelled like brewing coffee. She had never had mango. We turned her on to mango and papaya in Hawaii, Lynn and I did. And so I looked at her way of lifting up everyone. And now I don't throw my legs off the bed and say, "Praise God, this is the day that God has made." I don't emulate that. What I took from Marjorie is the ability to look at what someone's going through and lift them up through love. Not like shame them into it, but lift them up through loving them. And so when I look at my ministry, I know that my ministry is blessed with the perfect ministry for me. Okay, I'd like to be a little bigger. I'm not going to lie. We are that family-sized ministry. But I will tell you, in all the years that I worked at Mile High, one of the things that I got to learn from Dr. Roger Teal is that I don't want to be a corporate minister, because I looked at his life. He would come in and he would do meetings from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. And then he would go off and teach. But his version of teaching was to stand up there, because he had 300 students. He would stand up there, lecture for 45 minutes, then he would leave. And he had like practitioners who would be pod leaders. We'd break into pods, and then they would answer our questions, or someone in the group would answer our questions. That's not my idea of ministry. I used to look at the corporate ministers and say, "Oh my God, that's the kind of ministry I want. It's big, it's successful, it's, makes money, I can get paid really well. It looks like on the outside, it's such a wonderful experience being that kind of minister." Till I got to experience what Dr. Roger Teal's life was like. And once I saw that, I realized that was not the kind of ministry I wanted. I like that personal touch. I like to be able to talk to people one-on-one. Not that this provides that experience, but the classes do. I do teach online classes, and the classes allow me to be in the life of the person that I am teaching, so that I get to see how they change and grow with the teaching, right? I like the ability to talk to a smaller group of people and watch their light in their eyes as what I say clicks. You see, I like the feedback of watching those expressions and feeling the feelings that they're having as they're learning this material. That's the kind of ministry I want. Now, when I say yes, I would like it to be bigger. I know there's a way to be bigger and still be able to manage it so that I do have that one-on-one contact with people. There is a way to do that, but it's not through corporate ministry. I am really clear about that. And just so you know, the size of a corporate ministry is 300 or more people. I like the leader model, which is the leader of leaders, which is where you meet with a group of people and they are the leaders of the other people. But you still get that ability to talk one-on-one with people at church and that kind of thing. So I would love for us to get to 100, 150 people consistently. I like that kind of ministry because it still allows me that personal one-on-one that I really like. So again, I was looking at someone else's life and judging it as better than mine or better than my vision of what my ministry was going to be. And so I still say to us all that we are the perfect me that we can be, and that no one's life is better than ours. Our life, when we're grateful and in gratitude for our life the way it is, and still we want to grow, when we've come from that place of knowingness about our life, then we're happier. You see, I'm miserable as long as I'm looking at someone else's life and saying that's the life I want to have. But when I acknowledge that this is the life I want, that yes, it could be better, but this is the life, my life, and I'm living it perfectly, and I am perfect just as I am because God created me that way, that I am created in the image and likeness of God, and it flows through me easily and effortlessly. When I live my life from that place of gratitude, I'm a lot happier. My life seems a lot happier. My world seems a lot more perfect. So this week, can you do that with me? Can you look at your life, stop complaining about how imperfect it is, stop looking at other people's lives and thinking that they have something better. Really look at your life through the eyes of God and say, this is my perfect life. I am the most perfect me that I can be. And yes, I'm open to growth, but I'm glad for this life. I'm in gratitude for this life because this is my life and I'm doing it my way. Let's have a prayer. Right now, I just turn my awareness to that infinite power, that infinite presence of God. To that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful, how present, how beautiful God really is. I know that that is where I find myself, in the midst of God. My very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that one infinite wisdom of the ages, that is God flowing through. I know that same truth to be so for this team that God has loaned me to get the message out. For Faith and for Oz and for Tina and for Lynn. For we are one in that infinite power, that infinite presence of God. And our human doingness here on the earth is how we accomplish those things that allow God's message to get through. But the spiritual being that we are is connected by it, through it, as it. For God flows through us like a river. And we give form and essence, form to the essence. So I know that to be so for every person who is watching this, whether that's in real time or later on, that God's infinite power, infinite presence flows through us as one being. That it is who and what we are, and that God's wisdom flows through us so perfectly. There's no place where one leaves off and the other begins. For we are all one. Mitakuye Oyasin. All my brethren, we are all one. So I bless this coming week because I do know that it is absolutely blessed with opportunities for us to see the perfection of our own life, to recognize the perfection that God has provided by providing us as spiritual beings in this life. I know that as we go through this life, recognizing how perfect our life really is, recognizing who and what we are and what our life is about, and we are blessed with an understanding that brings us great happiness, peace, and joy. For that is our place on this planet. Our mission, if you will. To live life in such a way as to reveal the perfection of God through us, through our lives, through our beingness. I celebrate that. So I know that every name in the ministry of prayer this week is blessed by that same infinite power, infinite presence underlying whatever condition they are experiencing. And I just pull back the veil and reveal that truth. I reveal that perfection as their reality. I claim it for them in their name. I call it good and very good. And as I accept and receive it in their name, I give thanks that it is done. And I just let it be. My heart beams with gratitude. And so it is. Amen. Wow. Okay. Now is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already received and that which you have manifested in the mind of God but may not have already seen manifest in physical form. Please go to oasiscsl.org. That is what's showing on the screen and in the comment section. That is our website. And about 2/3 down the page, you're going to see the offering affirmation that we're going to do together here in a minute. And directly under that is the Contribute Now button for you to be able to contribute. And so I want to talk just a little bit about contribution because my team, all of us, contribute our time, talent, and treasure. And so I'm asking you to do the same. Give of your time and your talent and your treasure. It is rewarding to do that. Not because I need new shoes, because I don't really get paid, but because this message is worth getting out into the world. This is God's message that we want to make sure that everyone in the world has access to. And that's what you're contributing to. So again, go to www.oasiscsl.org. Go to about 2/3 down the page to the offering affirmation and say it with me, whether you're doing it in real time or you're doing it later. Now is the time. This perfect gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. Hit that Contribute Now button and contribute to this message getting out into the world. We thank you for that contribution. All right, so we have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast. who will pray on these requests every day for a week. So if you would like to have prayer, please in the comments section put what you would like to have prayer for. And if you don't want it to be public, you can always message one of us, and Faith will make sure that it gets on the private facing group page for Facebook, that only our God Squad, which is what we call our ministry of prayer, our God Squad team can pray on those every day for a week. And if you would like to participate in the God Squad, you don't have to be a licensed practitioner. You have to be willing and able to do affirmative prayer every day for a week on those requests and keep the requests confidential. So if you would like to do that, type yes in the comment field, and Faith will get you added to that private facing group page on Facebook that only the God Squad has access to. And if you would like to be part of our online community, type more in that comment section, and that's where we announce everything before we make it public. We announce it to our online community, and Faith will add you to our public facing group page on Facebook. All right. Also, please know, so Oz is our practitioner of the day. He's available for what we call our 1 minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever challenge you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. And you can reach him through video chat. If he doesn't answer right away, it means he's on the phone with someone else, so call back in a little while. But he is available also, as all of our practitioners are, by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. And that is where you can set up a time with them to have an appointment. You arrange payment with them either by PayPal or Cash App or Venmo or something like that. Each practitioner sets up their own payment portal. And then they will reach out to you at that appointed time by video chat. But that's where you will get spiritual guidance from. And so I wanted to let you know that we have that available. Please contact them through Facebook, or you can message them through Facebook. Anyway, I wanted to let you know that we are starting the Foundations of Science Mind class on Thursday, October 7th from 7 to 10 Mountain Time. You will need to pay, we're doing $30 per session up until the 5th session, and then you need to pay the balance of it. It's $300 for 10 weeks. You can do the first 5 weeks that way, so you know whether you really like it or not. And then we don't have to worry about refunds and all that other stuff. Plus, it's just easier for people to pay as they go. But once you're in the 5th week, we figure you're committed to the whole process, and then you need to pay the $150 that's left, so that you're up to the $300. That does include what we pay for home office to manage your records. So it's $300 for 10 weeks. If you're auditing it, meaning you've already taken it and it's registered somewhere that you've taken it, you can take it again, all 10 weeks for $30, because of course, you don't have to do the homework. It's more for a refresher course for you. So you can audit that for $30 if you want. All right. So on to our people that we have, our vendors, I should say. Brooks and Bailey is the first one here. And this is handmade bracelets and mala beads. All the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, and you can reach her through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com. So let me show you the clasps on the bracelets. I think that's a really unique and genius way to do that. And they don't fall off. At least I haven't, knock on wood. It has never fallen off on me like other bracelets do. So, and here's Faith.
And definitely check out the Mystic Brew. Our website is listed. It's also a really good time to find some cute intention jars to decorate your house for Halloween as well, since we are approaching that. As well as it's a great meditation tool, and we have many different kinds. One that would work perfectly with today's topic is our self-love jar, as well as we do have bath salts. Also, make sure that you're following all of our social media, including Instagram and Facebook, as we are doing a giveaway here in the next few weeks. So make sure that you're following that so that you have a chance to win.
Thank you, Faith. All right. And as a follow-up to that, we also have from Angel Renee, intention candles and tea bags for the bath. Again, you're going to focus on your attention while you're burning the candle or while you're sitting in the bath with a tea bag. The candles are $25 and the tea bags are $10. So, all right. And then just a shout out for the music, we have Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. You will need to contact her to find out how to make payment. She travels all over doing her music, and she can't update her website. So in order to get payment to wherever she is, you will need to email her. Then we have Karen Drucker, who her website does work. You can pay for it right then and there. She has it by song, by CD, by songbook. Some of the songbooks even actually have some American Sign Language in them. So we love to support those who support us. So do reach out and purchase their music. Check out our website at www.oasiscsl.org. You can reach our practitioners that way, find out about our practitioners. We have video sermons for the last year and a half, and we have audio sermons from years prior. We are also on YouTube and SoundCloud. YouTube has the videos of the current sermons, and SoundCloud has the audio sermons from years before. It's all under S. Tucker. Anyway, check us out. This next video, if you don't know it by now, you want to get to know it because it is a great meme to get stuck in your head. This is the way we bless everything in our lives. And if you do know it, sing it loud and sing it proud.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And I know that the blessings of God flow forth from here forward, in all time as all things. I know that the presence of God is with each of us at all times. And I rest and relax into that. And I know that it is good and very good. And I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you for being here. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We're blessed to have you with us. Stay safe until next week. Stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. Meet us back here 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time next week and every week. Thank you for being here. We love you. Bye.